super happy with this week's episode, and I was kind of concerned because after last week, that episode was so good. I was expecting a really slow episode this week, but no, it was really good. And it wasn't totally focused on Jughead. Yes, it was focused on him, but there other things were happening as well. I think we should just get into the bombshell that happened at the end of the show, and that was finding Jason's jacket in Jughead's dad / FP's house. Now, I definitely think the show wants you to think that, yep, this is the guy who killed him, and I don't think that's the case. If you look back on the last few episodes, they've pointed out different people trying to make it seem obvious that they were the killer, like Betty's mom and Betty's dad. And when they're doing that kind of thing, they're just trying to throw you off. So I don't think FP is the killer, but I do think he was involved in what happened with Jason's car and blowing it up. Now, I don't know if he acted alone, and I don't even know if he was the one who blew up the car, but I definitely feel sure that he took the drugs out and sold them because we know he is in desperate need for money right now. So the other question to this is, what is the purpose of him taking that jacket? We had our live chat this week. By the way, live chats are every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern, and they're so much fun because it's just great to discuss the show with other people. So hope you can make it sometime if you haven't yet. But some people thought, maybe he was going to give that jacket to Polly for the future son or daughter of Jason to have when they're older. And then other people thought he was going to use that to blackmail the Blossoms into giving him money for his son's jacket, which, knowing his, kind of knowing the way that he is, and he doesn't have a great reputation, and we know he's part of the Serpents, that could be something that he could do. But I definitely didn't like Jughead's dad before this episode, but I started feeling better about him during this episode. Even though the ending threw me off a little bit, I honestly feel like he's trying to get better, and I just really appreciated the moments when he even said, I'm trying to get better for my son. Like, I think he's had a difficult life, and I think he's made a lot of mistakes, but I feel like he's genuine, that he wants to get better and become a better person. I mean, he almost went crazy there at the end when the sheriff was talking to Jughead, but he was able to restrain himself after Jughead was like, this is not a good idea. So mad props to him. All right, so we need to talk about the sheriff because everybody had been on Team Sheriff for this entire series, and they were like, oh my gosh, he's so nice, he's so great. And I felt the same way. I was like, this is a really cool guy. He's super accepting of his son. But I also made this statement either in a video or a live chat that I never trust sheriffs, police officers in these teen mystery shows because most of the time they're shady, and I really felt like with Jughead and Betty finding that car and then telling what happened to the sheriff, which is the right thing to do, that it would in some way come back to haunt them, and it is because now they're making Jughead look like a suspect in this murder, which again, I don't think he is the killer, but that makes me wonder what's going on with the sheriff. I don't know if he's involved somehow with the Blossoms, or I don't know why he's pointing the finger at Jughead. A lot of people, and I think Ralph was the first one, at least on my channel, to say that Kevin, who is the sheriff's son, is the possible killer. So maybe he knows his son was involved and he's trying to place the blame on someone else, or maybe he was involved with that murder with his son, or maybe he acted alone. I don't know. And what would his motive be? I don't know. I mean, the only thing I can think of right now is his son was involved and he's trying to protect his son, and none of that may be true, but he's looking real shady now, and I just can't trust him anymore. We have Polly living in the attic, which was kind of funny to me because I don't think in real life, and even though I know this is a show, but in real life, that's not possible because, you would be walking around making the floorboards creak, and how does she go to the bathroom? And all of these things were popping in my mind as I watched the show. But whatever, I really, really appreciated Hermione stepping up and offering for Polly to live there. I thought that was awesome, and it made me really like Hermione even more. I mean, I really didn't have much of an opinion on her, but she gained mad respect from me at that point. I definitely had the vibes that Cheryl and Jason's parents did not have good intentions for Polly and her baby. They were just like, yeah, we'll take care of everything. We don't have to worry about money, blah, blah, blah. And thankfully, Cheryl stepped up and told Polly the truth at the end of the episode that, like, you need to get away because basically they want the baby, but they don't want Polly to be a factor in their lives. So I personally think they want to raise that child as their own and just get rid of Polly. So I love the way that Cheryl told Polly this, and I think Cheryl isn't that bad of a person. She just has this front that she puts up because she's dealt with a really difficult mom and dad. So I don't know. I don't think she has bad intentions in her heart. But I was really upset with, Betty's parents aren't the greatest, but it made me mad that they lied to Betty and told her that Polly was so cool with giving the baby up for adoption. It was like no big deal when Polly had just told her like she's gonna keep that baby. So I don't know what Polly's gonna do. I think she's just 17, but it's a tough situation. I don't know what they're going to do with that storyline, but she probably needs to go out on her own and try to get a job, and then I don't know who's going to take care of the baby. But I think they'll figure out a way to resolve it, and she'll get to raise the kid. I really do feel like that's going to happen. I don't think somebody else is going to get a hold of it. At least I hope not. And I've been thinking a lot about who is Jason's killer, because yes, I get asked that all the time. And I know that we're going to find out at the end of this season. And the more I think about it, I think it's not going to be a central character, because they were renewed for a second season. They want to have more seasons. And I just think it would be easier for them to wrap up this Jason murder and focus on something else next season and not even really get into that at all. So I'm kind of feeling like it will be like a serpent or one of the parents or a character who's not a lead like Kevin. And I'm not really that cool with that, but I think we should all kind of expect that and kind of get ready for that, because the chances of it being Betty or Veronica or even Jughead, I think, are kind of slim at this point, because I don't know how they move forward with the additional seasons. But if you really feel like one of the main characters is the killer and you have a strong theory for that, let me know down below, or let me know who you think currently is the killer. Something else we have to think about is we have a little bit of a break with this show, and I wasn't expecting that, but it's not returning till March 30th. But it's okay, because this whole first season they're doing at one time. They're not splitting it up and taking like a 4 or 5 month break. So I think we can all handle a couple of weeks. But I hope that the episode when they return will be really good, since we've had to wait for it. But if you haven't subscribed to me, I would really appreciate that. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I really enjoyed this episode. I'm really enjoying this series so far. And feel free to leave me any comments or thoughts about what you think about the series so far, what you think about this episode, and who you think killed Jason. So I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you guys soon. Bye. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Kelly TV. I would love for you to subscribe and be a part of the Kelly TV family. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter so you can keep up with all I'm doing.